Just click the link below. Make sure your camera's on and your penis is put away. Yep. All right. None of that. What?
Well, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary.
Come on in if you like. Rob, come on in. Just come on in. You don't have to turn on your camera. Just come talk and hang out. just want to hang out with them, you guys. All right, fair enough. Well, somebody come in. My hands are falling asleep.
Hello.
Hello.
Look at this.
Hello.
There you go.
There's a kitty cat.
Oh, cute.
I didn't know you had a kitty cat.
That's not my cat.
Oh. You cat sitting?
Yeah. His name is Charlie.
Charlie. Hello, Charlie.
Hello. Hey.
Don't let Charlie bite you.
Ouch.
Charlie bit me.
I've actually never seen that video.
Well,
or maybe not so funny.
It's a thing, I guess. I think is that a painting or a picture?
I think it's a painting.
If there's like important stuff there that people shouldn't read.
Yeah.
This is so and so's first and last name, their social security number.
on your
What
mind?
is it? I don't know. Chris did a great job of like he does, you know. That was fun. Just to like listen and talk with him. And I didn't want to shut it down, you know. So what's on yours?
I've been in like a weird mental state recently. Like, I don't know if like what I'm doing is like any good. Like aspects of my life, I feel like I'm just like, you know, honestly doing it, but I feel like I'm not doing anything. So it feels very like, I don't know, purposeless. I don't feel like I'm judging myself too harshly or getting too down on myself. I just don't feel like it's good. That makes
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hello, see. So like just like generally or specifically like the screen capture thing.
Oh, I think more just generally, like the screen capture stuff, I guess is just more, you know, just another example of, but I don't know. I feel like I feel like I'm the type of person that gets really like jazzed about something and I like go full send on it for like 2, 3 weeks. And then I like lose whatever that thing that like drew me in, like that feeling. And then when I lose that feeling, it's replaced by the feeling of like, are you sure this is the right thing to be doing anymore? Like, what are you doing now? Like, oh, should you be moving on to the next thing? And like it feels like I don't know how to sit in, I don't know, like mundane or sit in like average or sit in like just okayness. Like it has to be exceptional or like no, or it's bad. And so I don't think it's actually bad. I'm just like not seeing it as good or as exceptional. And so I'm like judging it as probably bad. So
Yeah. I had something similar. Well, something that to kind of to come to an acceptance with the the gift of average existence is a nice thing to kind of like encounter sometimes because like but then like the other day a couple days ago I was like I had this like extreme feeling of inspiration wash through me and it freaked me out a little bit because I haven't had that in a long time and I was like oh man that's a very powerful uh, driver like motivating feeling and I haven't really had that for a while and that pulls me out of like the acceptance of and gratitude of average existence, which I've grown accustomed to. And maybe, you know, like the proper place for feeling more than average is being dad. And because that feeling of being Carolyn's father and the way that she loves me and stuff is very, very similar to the feeling, the powerful feeling of inspiration. It's very close there. But the difference is I can rest like when I feel it from Carolyn, I know it's from her and from God, right? And when it's just inspiration, it's like whoa, there's like a drive or desire to create something which is akin to that. So, T, Mr. Tile, welcome, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Chad, you've been one of the people that speak well to that tension of excellence and acceptance of mediocrity.
Yeah.
Uh, and I lean more towards go for the excellence because, well, actually, it's because of some Christian rapper. You had a song called Excellence, and one of the lines was something like, excellence, that's what it expects of us. Anything else would be blasphemous. So it's the idea that God does strive for excellence, and therefore we should too. But at the same time, I do completely agree with what you're saying about accepting the place that you currently are at. And I think from what I caught before I jumped on what Megan was saying, there's a restlessness to not having almost like a vision for how things is going to play out. That once you sort of master one thing, there is an expectation that I'm supposed to move on to the next thing and level up, constantly leveling up. And I don't know how that plays into the excellence conversation, but it feels like there's a balance. I felt gross saying it, but something like that.
But I also feel like it's not just like, I don't know. I feel like I often think, oh, this is just my like neuroses or my conditioning or my, oh, society says I'm supposed to be producing. But like sometimes that voice and that like justification feels like the evil voice. And it almost feels like that's the one that's saying like, oh, slow down, appreciate where you are right now or whatever. And I'm like, it's almost like I feel like I have the capacity for excellence and I feel like I'm called to that. But I also feel like I am not able to just like exist in this space at the same time. So I feel like, I don't know if that makes any sense. So it's like I feel like I'm called to do something. And then when I like can't, I feel like I'm judging myself for it. But then when I'm like finally sitting in it, I feel like there's another voice of like, oh, good, you're here, you're sitting. But it's like an evil, like, oh, excellent. You like slowed down and you're not doing it. And you know what I mean? Like I can't tell which one is the bad one or something like that.
Yeah, I do know what you mean. To
Hello,
answer your
Alan.
question.
Welcome.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Just wanted to pop in and say hi.
I've not seen Alan or been on a stream with him in like years or months.
Yeah,
My internet
honestly,
is
probably has
shit
been
yet
years.
again.
Oh no. What's going on?
I don't know. I can
Oh, Chad's internet is bad.
Well, Alan, I've never met you, so
Oh, hi,
Yeah, you
okay.
guys are fine. Just ignore me.
The virtual
you're like,
and Turkey.
yeah.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm just the topic where you guys are talking about, and I just want to jump in and say hi because I haven't been streaming as much, so it's good to the opportunity to say hi at least. Yeah, I think that it sort of goes into this whole like, oh, which is the voice and which is the like. It really does go into it really does go into like a lot of what Vervaeke's doing and what is the real. And I think so much of that we do a disservice when we just think that like, oh, it's only within us, Even I'm sure that like true Buddhism would have a rebuttal to this, but like even modern conceptions and my own conceptions of like Buddhism of like I know what I'll do. I'll just turn off the parts of my brain I don't like. And like I'm bigger than I'm in control of everything. I will just control my feelings right now. And it's like that is probably not going to work. And it just is very I went to this I went to like a Buddhist temple a long time ago for like several Saturdays in a row, and I'm sure the Buddhist teachers had a better understanding, and we're not trying to do this, but you could just tell a lot of people were like, I just want to feel good. I want to walk out of here like this is like my little thing. And I don't know, I don't want to pick on Buddhists, but the point just being of like a lot of that narrative is not meant to be located inside of your head. A lot of the, like, is this good, is this bad, is supposed to be located in a broader like community, culture, all sorts of other things that help you make these decisions and validate whatever, validate's a tough term, but sort of like reinforce like, oh, this is a good decision. And I think that's also why people didn't really struggle with these ideas as much in the past, or some cultures didn't, because they had ways of being like, yeah, I'm a sheep farmer and I've always been a sheep farmer and it's fine. It's okay to be a sheep farmer. It's not like, you should get your master's degree. No, wait, you should do this. You should do that. You should have 10 kids. No, you should have 0 kids. It's just like, people, it's like, okay, you're just sitting there making your own decision on these types of things. And it's like very hard to tell which thought is the right thought and which thought is the wrong thought.
Interesting. So yeah,
I'll
when
be
when you're playing the the community in your head that orients you towards what is good and what is bad, it can be kind of like too much or something.
Yeah, and that's why the
Rather
sorry,
than
continue.
yeah, it's interesting. Never thought of that before.
there's no escaping
This
that
thing
though, is
on. In some
Sorry,
sense,
what were you saying,
no.
Tayo?
No, I tried to go for her. Are you there?
I
Okay.
thought you said there's no
I would say
escaping that, and I said, yeah, in some sense there isn't.
I was trying to offer a bit of a pushback to the idea that community solves this problem, because I think there's a sense that, well, you mentioned that this might not be a problem that was people back then would have to worry about, or people in certain communities had to worry about. But I don't know how true that is, because you do always have to wrestle with the how much of me is a part of community and how much of me is me. And I think there's a there is a sense that there's an expectation the community have, and sometimes it aligns with your own expectation and where you're going, and sometimes it doesn't, and then you do have to ask that question. I don't know if that's. I'm sure modernity has made the problem bigger than it was, but it feels like a perennial question.
But then also when there is like no real community to like assess yourself against, then I think it just adds to that loading on the mind, or at least that's how I feel like for me. Like it's like without that literal community to like compare yourself to or to get feedback from, like what's the like how do you not have those ideas, and like how does it not just become your responsibility then to think, so to give yourself that type of feedback?
I don't know. It feels like the other way, right? It feels like there's more responsibility if there is a community, and the responsibility feeling when there's no community feels just more like choice paralysis, like which way to go. Whereas if there was a community, they'd be like, at least there's this tried and true method that for generations, with the sheep people, with the carpenter family, with the whatever, and the sincerity, authenticity divide comes into play as well. because I think communities would, if there was a community, there's a chance to lean into the sincere. And when there isn't a community, you've got no choice but to try find your authentic calling, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I would just say like there's
Yeah.
no I'm sorry.
No,
Chance to
please.
make this game so much funnier. Alan, you're up.
Okay. Yeah, and I would just say like there is no like that whole idea of like the true authentic, like where is it located? Like if I could only get the microscope out and like really be the true Alan, it's just like that's insane. Like this doesn't exist. It's like, it's like this idea of like, well, the true me is, the true me is on a beach with a margarita, or the true me is like, giving a speech, a TED talk and with my master's degree. Like all that stuff is like that's not located inside yourself, There's no like, okay, then I finally located it. I think that's part of the problem of like the sort of like modern day like lonely individualism of like like, oh, I can date this person for 7 years and basically be married to them, not literally but completely close to them, and then okay, I decided one day that I'm kind of bored of this, goodbye, and I'm never going to think or talk about them ever again. And it's like, you're going to be thinking about them for the rest of your life. You might push against it, you might hate it, but it's like the person's part of you and you've just like carved them out of your life because you were bored. So I think that locate within yourself who that true individual is like, that's a toughie.
Chad.
Yes.
Oh, nice. You responded in time, so it seems like the lead's gone.
That's cute.
Go for it. You were going to say something earlier.
I forgot. I think it's something to do with where like how attached to the outcomes or the path must I be. I was thinking about like these folks that went out and did kind of frontier work or pioneer work out in Arkansas or Texas. Like I read some of that stuff and what happened with them in the Dust Bowl and stuff, and like they didn't really have a whole lot of community around. They were like out there, miles and miles away from everything. They did connect with people with letters and stuff, and they had like some education. The one lady, I can't remember. I have her book. It was fascinating listening to them, but like they had like this like definite obstacle to contend with all the time that was rooted in the physical. And pardon me. And sorry. But thinking about the like what they did, how they lived through that is interesting. And like I don't know, maybe it's just the neurosis or the neurotic wrestling with the idea of balance. I actually hate that word a lot.
I hate it myself saying it too, Chad. I feel the same way.
Because
Balance?
it implies that I'm going to will my way through this life, and I'm going to bend and shape it to be the way I am in it. And the problem is like, and then when I don't, do it, I'm going to like blame myself for not being the kind of person that can shape the world to be in the image that I would have it. And rather than just trying to realign myself with my will with what I think God's will for me is to just kind of let Him do the balancing, and I try to walk with Him. Um, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Well, to that, I would just say that your narrative, like just what you said, like, yeah, that narrative that you're talking about has a externalizing that like force that allows you to keep going on it, which is God. You're not looking to yourself to be like, oh, am I balanced today? How do I balance myself a little bit more? Like you're putting your trust in something else. I think
Yeah.
that's where
We just got Chad back and now we're losing Alan.
Okay. All right. Thank God. Bye, Alan. No, I'm just kidding. But look how beautiful that guy is. Jeepers. Um, the yeah, there's something that I was going to say that I distracted myself, but it has to do with this idea of who knows, who cares? You guys talk. I'll stay frozen.
Megan, you're sort of the genesis of this. So far, has anything that's been said struck, and how is it struck what you're trying to express?
uh, I mean, to an extent, yes, but also I feel like not at all. Like like I feel like the way, okay, you know how Chad talk about these like powers, these like this like energy that you like almost like fall into, like you're a part of and you like add to, but you're also overwhelmed by, like that is what I feel like when I think of like the pressures. Like it's not necessarily, but there's always the stories that you tell yourself. I'm supposed to be a mom by now. I'm supposed to have this type of career. I'm supposed to have, the picket fence. Like all like sure, fine, fair. That's always there too. Like this society is screwed up in that way as well. But I feel like it's more like that. Like you were talking about these people who are like, traveling on wagons and like seeking newness or whatever and like not knowing what they were going to do, not having these community, but they had like a sense of purpose. They had less, and they also had less that energy weighing them down. It felt like it feels like the more technology, the more ideas, the more energy that's being just like forced into the world, the air feels heavier. And if my purpose is not louder than the energy that's consuming me, I can't like rely on that or something. And so I'm trying to like get feedback from my environment, and my environment that I'm getting feedback from is like screaming the wrong things. I can like sense that it's screaming the wrong things, but I can't like do anything about that. Like, and so I don't know how to then judge if what I'm doing is like the right thing, because it feels like the noise is just so I don't know, like
Does being
yeah.
does being grounded, this is a bit to Alan's point, does being grounded in being a Catholic have any sort of pushback against that force that's pushing you down, or is that part of the force that's causing the confusion?
I think because I'm still sort of going through this like process. I think because I feel like more, and I feel like all of these ideas, all these labels have so much, like everything has so much weight to it. Like every word I feel like I say or I think about is like so heavy. And I'm like, why is this so heavy? Like, I didn't put the weight on this. Why is this word so gosh darn heavy? And so I'm like, I don't even know. I don't know if it's Catholicism that's like helping or hurting, or like because I can't like tell. I can't like. There's so much layer of like bullshit that like I don't even know if I can use those ideas anymore because they just have so much weight to it. That makes
Chad,
sense.
yes, absolutely. And I don't know if because Chad, you and I had the conversation, which was great, offline earlier, sometime this week. And one of the things Chad and I spoke about was the idea of consciousness and sense making. I think Chad said something like, "Oh, I said we don't speak enough about consciousness," and Chad said every time we speak about epistemology, we're speaking about consciousness, which I thought was kind of brilliant. And it feels like the sense making, the energy you're speaking of, the frequencies also disrupted the sense making antennas that a lot of people, everyone has, and there's a need to almost want to build like need to build that back so that we can do some sense making, but at the same time it feels like all of the bricks that were previously been used are now no longer useful. So there's sort of this in between space that a lot of people are existing in.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on with that. Like, I almost feel like I have all of these incredible tools, but they're like useless. Like, the tools don't mean anything. Like, they can't help the situation anymore. Or like one of the um, talks you sent me, Chad, that they were talking about, like when it comes to alcoholism, and addiction and stuff. It's like having the antennas that are like broken. Like, that's like exactly what they said. It's like I'm able to receive, but I'm on the wrong frequency. Like, I just like can't get the message. And I feel like I'm seeking and I'm listening, but I feel like there's like I feel like I'm on a different station or something. Like, I don't know, or my receiver is faulty. Yeah, like I can't tell. But I feel like I'm honestly, humbly seeking. Like, oh, it's not
You
here.
think genuine, some might say?
Maybe. Oh gosh. And so it's like,
Well, you might be exactly right where you might be exactly right where you need to be, and that maybe that's like part of the one of the old ideas is that because I don't feel um, connected in a certain way that I think that I should, I must be off track. And it's like, well, maybe I'm just like poking through the soil right now, and that's where I'm at, and that's and 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 living in uncomfortability is kind of like very difficult to contend with, especially if you're somebody who's competent and being able to kind of like um, strengthen um, your an illusion of experience that you can get shit done. So when
mm-hmm.
shit isn't getting done, it's like now you're kind of like a fish out of water or something like that, or you think that you are or something. And like the ways that we the narratives or whatever, like so one of the somewhere along the line, uh, I had I had adopted a narrative that having children would be bad. It would be an unethical thing to do in the world. It's a fucked up world, and I don't want any kid that I had. Plus, the idea is like some doctor once told me that one in every 99 of my kids might have a cleft lip and cleft palate, and I thought, well, the fuck that. I don't want them to have to. I know what it was like to have that, and so that compounded with the rest of the world that I was seeing that was colored by my perception would would have a tremendous influence on what I thought was the right thing, which was to not have children. And then um, I saw my brother had a few kids, and it was just like these really tiny glimpses into that what he was experiencing, and I thought, man, I really fucked that up. I should have had kids. And then and we and we thought we weren't going to have any, and like the thing about this is the point of what I'm trying to get at is maybe what I think I know now isn't actually the right path, right? So, like, maybe the greater, larger narrative is actually the right path, and that maybe I should just try to do my best to align with far simpler principles and be part of rather than get out in front of the pack. And when I do that, maybe then I get out in front of the pack when I just live well and try and live principled. Because I mean, that again, if I maybe it doesn't have to be grandiose. Maybe I don't have to be the swimming champ. Maybe I don't have to be the frisbee champion. Maybe I don't have to be the potential CEO. Whatever the thing is, maybe I can just be another fellow, and that's okay because I have the capacity to obviously I have the capacity to become something greater than average. But maybe I don't. Maybe where I'm falling short is my inability to really find peace in the average, and be part of rather than apart from, and I don't know, I'm projecting too much onto your story there, but I'm just trying to help you see that and sometimes maybe my feelings are just that they're just an indication of where I feel like I'm at in this exact moment, and that my thoughts aren't me. My thoughts are a set of perceptions colored by my past, which is drawing me into react to what I'm feeling and where I'm at right now, or where I think I'm standing right now. And maybe where I think I'm standing right now isn't actually where I'm standing. Maybe I'm exactly where he would have me be, and that's okay.
Yeah, it's odd because I feel like, and I think have maybe I've said this before, but like I actually feel like like my ideas are like not for me. Like I feel like I'm never saying something because I think I'm supposed to be the one to like take the idea and run with it. Like I feel like I just will see an idea and I feel like I'm supposed to be supporting someone else taking on my ideas. Like I I feel like I see that the world needs certain ideas. I don't know, I'm rambling right now, but like hopefully you follow. Like I feel like I'm trying to put these ideas into the world because I think something and someone greater than me eventually will hear it and be able to do something with it. Because like I don't feel like it's my job or my responsibility, but I feel like these ideas are not being seen and not being heard. So I feel like I'm like compelled to say these things. And then I feel like I have some responsibility over these ideas coming to like a fruition. And so I don't know. I like,
It's very maternal energy, actually, which is interesting. That is very maternal.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Because, like, and I don't mean to be like, I might be in a different setting that might feel kind of sexist. But the thing is it is. It's like I find that my wife, um, like, I have all these big ideas, these 40,000 foot ideas, and she'd be like, "Yeah, but how about this thing right here?" And she can inspire that within me to do like this simple thing, you know, and that simple thing that actually makes the house go, you know, and
Yeah.
and she has big ideas too. But like, so what I'm saying is maybe what you're dealing with is kind of like just a instinctual thing that is um, uh, stemming from a place where the energy would otherwise go somewhere else that doesn't have a place to go, so it goes to what you're talking to right now.
Yeah. I
Maybe
feel
that's
like it,
wrong. I don't know.
No, I feel like it falls into like a void or something, and then I feel like I was irresponsible with it or something. Like I feel like it feels right in the moment, but then it's like it just like I don't know. It just like the idea just like dies, and I feel like I watched something just like die, and I feel like I did that.
Mm,
Like you know what I mean? Like I feel like I didn't do
yeah.
it right.
Those two things feel intention, the wanting to be just uh, someone that's highlighting and spotlighting the good ideas that you find in the world, and wanting to see it to fruition. Because it's either you want to play the assist or you want to score the goal.
And I think that is the conditioning part. I think, I think we were talking about the American dream the other day and how I don't know. I feel like I've been programmed to be like a man. And it's like, I feel like I'm trying both of the things. I feel like I'm sending it and then I'm like, is anyone going to catch this thing? Is anyone going to like take it and change it? No? Okay. I guess I'll have to do that too. And then it's like, and then I know almost immediately that it's wrong. Like I used to say this thing where I'm like, I feel like everything I do starts with a pure intention because I feel like it makes sense to me. I don't have to think about it. It just like happens. But then as soon as it like doesn't flow in the universe like I think it ought to, I feel like I have to like chase it and grasp it and make sure it doesn't die. But then in my chase after it, it dies anyways. And so it's
Mm.
I like I don't know what that is. And so do I just stop creating like that? Like, you know? Like
You won't
like
be
what am
able
I
to.
doing?
You're not going to be able to change this kind of this way of being overnight. It's not going to happen. You won't change it either. It's just not going to happen. You have a lifetime of thinking and feeling like operating this way. Like you're very like disciplined in the way that you are. I mean, yeah. So yeah, that if it,
That's
and if
like a
it's
part
if
of
it
the. Sorry, finish,
what's
Jack.
that? No, please.
No, I was just thinking that lines up with the feminine cry to the masculine in the modern era is, can you please do the things, bring to fruition the ideas that will make the world better? And on the masculine are like, no, because you guys are trying to bring that idea to fruition instead of letting us do it. And that dialogue goes back and forth.
And like fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
But I think hmm, you're not incapable. You're not an incapable person. So I would say if you're feeling ripped apart by imperfection or the lack of fruition, um, and you already know where I stand on this. Find somebody to help you seek at a simpler level, and just be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient with yourself. But yeah, yeah, it's life's a bitch sometimes.
And
It
then
is.
we die. That's why we get out, because you never know when you're gonna go.
I'm still trying to figure out how to just be at peace. I don't know if that's something that I don't know. That maybe that's just an illusion, like the story that we told ourselves that we could be at peace. Like this idea about the when that Alan brought up with the Buddhists. It's like my image or understanding of it is something like there's like this less attachment to it, and like it seems very like ego deathy and all this. But if you go and look at their temple, it's so gorgeous and like, man, they sure poured a whole lot of heart and soul into creating something really beautiful that would draw your attention. If it was like, so maybe we're just meant to kind of like inspire each other to more higher and beautiful things rather than the this is what
This
happens when
feels
you talk out loud.
this feels somewhat related. Chad, you and Chris were speaking about, well, at some point you spoke about feeling still like the child that's in awe of the adults doing the work on the car. And I relate to that so much. And I think don't don't quite have the thread together, but that feels related to the idea of the expectation versus, being content. Because the child is very much at peace with his role in that scene. It's very excited by the role he's playing in that scene. And there's a sense in which not being at peace in the role you're playing has something to do with the restlessness that a lot of us feel.
So can I make this about men and women again for a second?
No.
Woman.
Yeah.
No. I almost feel like I see children and like men to an extent as like constantly like changing and morphing and building thyself. And I feel like a woman like gets mature and like just is and isn't that like, and so I almost feel like they cultivate their ego, a healthy ego ought to, and then they don't need that like the type of ego death that I think a child and a man is supposed to have. And so there's like this almost like need for stability that I don't feel like, so I feel like I can't relate to that. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just feel like there's a different way of experiencing the world in that way. And so like I feel
Whoop.
Oh, she got a call.
That is objectively
That'd
hilarious.
be my guess.
I feel like
I feel like fuck y'all. It is interesting.
oh, we
There
got
she
it.
is. Did you get a call?
I did get a call. I'll probably have to pop off in a second, but yeah, I just feel like there's like this weird
So
difference.
say we all.
Like,
Oh.
like I don't know. It feels like a different way of approaching it for like women or something. And I feel like we're supposed to be this like stable thing to allow for everyone else to have their death and regrowth and death and regrowth. And we're just supposed to be that homing, but like no one's using me as like a homing device. So like
That's such a great sentence.
so what am I doing? So do I have to go out and ego death all day? It doesn't feel right. It like doesn't feel, I don't know. It feels weird.
What's her name?
I want to have
Mary.
kids thing, so I just like have all these kids and my life will make sense now.
Yeah, then you'd be a true Catholic woman. Oh gosh. Mary Arrington's Feminism Against Progress comes to mind because the sort of thesis is like there were two strands of feminism, and one was pro all of the things you just spoke about being being the neck, the stable force of the home, and the other side of feminism wanted to become as industrious as men were allowed to be, and the the latter side won, and why she wrote the book, and she's like, actually, no, I'm gonna go be a housewife whilst being a writer. But at the same time, I do think there's I don't know if I've said this to you, it might be you, Megan, I don't know. But there is a sense that it can feel like opportunity wasted if you're given all this privilege, not to trigger Rob in the chat, and you're not using it. And there's a sense that the modern woman is in a privileged position where they can help shape what the world looks like in a way that men could. Yeah, so I can't relate because I'm excited by that, but I can see how there's a tension from a woman's perspective of where's the stability? Because in a world of chaos, there's opportunity for the more industrial and entrepreneurial, and that's the more masculine trait. Whereas in the chaos, there's the where's the stability and the woman. Yeah, so I've
Yeah,
rambled.
and then there's this idea of like, again, how I think our perceptions are being shaped by these stories of how what they said we should feel like because you do this and then you should feel this way, and like rather than just kind of like trying to just contend with the moment and with where we are and just experience where we are and not let all the narratives cloud into and shape our perception of where we think we're standing in this moment. Like for example, Anne deals with this thing too, where like she's like, I'm in these mom groups, and they all seem to just be so like housewife, like making being mom housewives, and it's fucking hard. And it's not. And I feel, and I think she was feeling a sense of what you're saying, like she wasn't having the kind of internal response that they said that we should have.
Mhm.
When being that she's like, I love my daughter, she's incredible, but I don't feel like this kind of person that feels connected to have to go and feel grateful about and happy about. It's like it's hard. So it's yeah. This is the idea. This old idea. I don't know if this is true, and we maybe get some final thoughts on this, but somewhere along the line, we had this idea that we can standardize people and how and this act was an accident. It's because we needed to standardize actual physical items in the world so that we can make things like sewing machines and whatever, soap, bars of soap, things to help people survive. And in doing that, which was a good thing, we somehow adopted this as a part of our psyche, and it became that this thing that we could standardize people, and we did this through stories. And in some sense, there are a lot of folks, and I'm very kind of envious of those folks who seem to be the standardized human being. They can just like get along. Like I wish I was an NPC. I really do, but I wasn't given the gift of being one, so I have to feel all the shit.
Right.
And so I don't get to be just a standard stamped out person. So when I have the moments where I am that, I should just kind of like try to be grateful for them. But I have a very different probably experience than most people, and once in a while I can talk to different people that have similar ways of um, contending with the world. I have conversations with Tayo. I have conversations with uh, Biblio Bison. I have conversations with Ezra and so on, and all these different people. And there are very similar connections where I feel seen and I feel average in those moments in a very wholesome and connected way. But the idea that again, I'm not an NPC as much as I wish as I was, but I'm not, and I can't change myself overnight. So maybe I can just work every day a little more at accepting where I'm at, and maybe someday I'll be the PC that God or the NPC that God would have me be. Final thoughts?
Thanks for letting me vent to you guys.
Thank you for venting.
Also, look how tan I am. I go look at that.
Oh.
Nothing on
Yeah,
my wrist. My thing. That's crazy.
Is that an Apple Watch wristband
look how tense I
tan
am.
line?
All right. All right. You win.
Weird
No,
flex, bro.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Yeah. It's only on one side though. Look at that.
She's all like,
Yeah, I'm like this. It's the little bend of the wrist.
Oh, the Salt Bay.
Oh yeah, I got that.
mm,
All right, thanks, Chad. Things are getting silly. It's
Well-
time to go.
Yeah, we can't have that.
indeed. Oh, you guys have a good weekend. You know, go have some. Just or don't. You know, whatever. Of course, my internet is being a shitbag right now. I'm trying to put a good outro video on. All right. Bye, y'all. Oh, come on. Come on. Select. Bye.
People very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right. Just new king, big, great can new happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. Happy, many down, many jack king from right. Just new king, big, great can new happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls are not what they seem. The owls, people very just king, great king. People error, people king, big, just king, king. King, happy, many down, many jack, king from right. Just new king, big, great can new happy. The owls are not what they seem. The owls.
All right, that one's a little self-indulgent.